Hey, it's me. I'm in a different room today. My Tull Story. Here we go. 1973, Saturday night. Tried to get some Quaaludes, but I couldn't, so I had to settle for sleeping pills. Went out drinking. Long story short, last thing I remember, a fist coming at my left eye with a ring on it. Boom. Next thing I remember, opening my eyes and screaming, "Jethro Tull on Friday!" Now, I went out on a Saturday night. I had tickets for Shea Stadium the following week, Friday, the next week, Friday. So I started screaming, "Jethro Tull on Friday!" And I realized that I was laying down, and there were all these people that started gathering around me. And they said, "Norman, you're alive." And I looked at them and said, "Of course I'm alive. I need to go see Jethro Tull at Shea Stadium on Friday." And one of the nurses said, "Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to pump your stomach and clean you up. Why don't you go back to sleep and we'll talk later?" And I said, "Okay," and I closed my eyes. The next time I opened my eyes, once again, I was screaming, "Jethro Tull on Friday!" And I was in a room, my vision was very blurry, and I was in a room that was totally empty. And I couldn't see on my left side was my friend Sherman, who said, "Norman, you're alive." So once again, I said, "Of course I'm alive. I need to go see Jethro Tull at Shea Stadium on Friday." And he looked at me and said, "Norman, do you know what day today is?" And I figured, well, I went out last night. It was Saturday. Today's got to be Sunday. And he said, "Today is Wednesday." I said, "What?" Now, he explained to me that I was pronounced dead on arrival. They called my father up. They told him I was dead. When I woke up and started screaming, they called him back and told him I was alive. And he got pissed off. He said, "Is he dead or is he alive? Make up your mind." So, he told me that I went into a coma for 3 days. And today was Wednesday. And I said to him that, okay, I need to get cleaned up because I lived for that concert and I'm going to be there. And so I did. I got cleaned up. I left the hospital Friday. I took a cab from Coney Island Hospital to Shea Stadium in Brooklyn. And I was at that concert. Now, in 1984, when I was unemployed, I started writing songs and poetry. And one day I wrote a song about Jethro Tull, about Jethro Tull and how they saved my life. Then I filed it with all my other things. I have over 300 songs and God knows how many poems. Some are funny, really funny, real short. Looked up in the dictionary, moly's not a word. It's strictly only fiction, very old and so absurd. Except for holy moly, an expression often heard. It's kept around but solely to impress instead of turd. But anyway, so I filed it with all my other stuff. And then in 2000... I started to surf the web, and I saw this website, folking.com, Folking. So I checked it out, and I saw they had a contest for poetry and write about your favorite band. And the winner gets backstage passes to their favorite band. So I said, well, I already got the poem written. I just have to enter it. So I entered my Jethro Tull poem, and it's called A Minstrel from Heaven. He has an album called A Minstrel in the Gallery, which he used to consider himself to be. So I used A Minstrel from Heaven because he saved my life. And I entered my poem in the contest. And out of 2,000 entries, yes, I got first place. And yes, I flew to Connecticut to live with my sister for a couple of days to go meet Ian Anderson and his wife. And that's what I did. Unfortunately, I didn't get to tell him this whole story because when he gave me his autograph, I said, "This is great, I can put it with Martin's." And he said, "When did you get Martin's?" And I told him, "At the Hard Rock." Now, at the Hard Rock a few years earlier, I brought a dictaphone with me, and there were big signs all over, no recording equipment. He had called security on me twice because I was right up front. I was like 3 feet away from the man who saved my life, and I wanted something to record to say, "Here I am at the Hard Rock with Jethro Tull. Ian Anderson, the man who saved my life, is 3 feet away from me." I wanted to record that. But he called security on me twice. And then in Connecticut, when I met him, he remembered who I was, and he cut our conversation short. And ever since then, I've been trying to get to him to tell him that story, this story, because he really should be, he should let people know who I am and that he actually did save my life. He's responsible for me being alive today. If there was no Jethro Tull concert that week, I would not be here right now. So they saved my life. Basically him, Ian Anderson. He's the leader of the band. So hopefully maybe somebody will get word to him that I'm online and he'll check it out. He knows who I am, but he only remembers me from the Hard Rock. He remembers meeting me, and he remembers me now from the Palms in Las Vegas because I was in my wheelchair and I was in the first row center and I had a sign on my lap, "Remember me," with a question mark. And when he saw that, he got really pissed off. And yes, he remembered me from the Hard Rock, but he didn't remember he saved my life. He should give me backstage passes at every one of his concerts. But he remembers only the bad things. Now here's the poem. A Minstrel from Heaven. Okay. Just read an article about drinking lots of water. There will never ever be a band like Jethro Tull. Sir Ian just amazes me. No, never is he dull. After 50 years of touring, you would think he'd call it quits. You would think the traveling's boring. You would think that it's the pits. But then there's always one last time to please his loving fans. The speakers roar, the cymbals chime, all things go as he plans. In '73 in NYC, he played a gig at Shea. Me, comatose for days long, 3, broke free to hear him play. He saved my life, him and his band. He's really paid his dues. He's coming to Las Vegas, and he'll play the House of Blues. I'd love to meet him, shake his hand, sit down and have a beer, but I'll just be one in the crowd. I'll stand, I'll clap, I'll cheer. And that's my poem. And Ian, if you are watching this, please get in touch with me. My email is stornor94@yahoo.com. STORNOR, STORMIN-NORMAN. Signing off. Check me out on my videos. I'm putting webcam videos so I can tell all the information. Otherwise, they'd be listed as the name of the songs. But they're all original songs that I wrote. And I'm singing and playing the Casio. And believe it or not, I used to be a drummer. All my life I've been a drummer. So playing the Casio, I sing what I play what I sing, so I sing in key. But it gets me by. And if you didn't like my songs, you wouldn't be listening to them. So thank you very much, and have yourself a wonderful day. I'll be back a little bit later with a new song for you. Probably a jazz song called The Touch. Later.